Everyone, please take your seats now. Excuse me, take your seats now. We're going to start. Sit down, please, everyone. Okay. Sorry. Okay, hi, good afternoon everyone. We are Team Alpha and our leader Joshua will be starting for architectural drawing, Mr. Wan's group. Hello everyone. So what is architectural drawing? Architectural drawing is a drawing made by architects in the field of architecture. That's a lot of architecture. But when do we use it? We use it when architects after architects discuss with clients and discuss about what they want, the concepts, everything there. Yeah. So what's the process? First, the client will brief the architect about the design. Then after that, the architect will start making initial sketches of designs and concepts. Then after that, the architect will discuss with the client and ask if it's valid or not. If the client disagrees, then he has to go back to the drawing board and start over. But if the client agrees, the architect will develop the design. And after the design is finally finalized, then the architectural drawing, a specific one, a complete one, can be drawn. But why do we use an architectural drawing? First, it's a medium. It's a medium of communication for, say, clients and their architects. The architect has to show the client about his designs and his works. Second of all, it is also used for a reference for constructors and all the builders to know what to build, where to build it. And it's also a documentation of their work to show that they are the one that produced this, they are the one that created this design. Now, there are a few parts of an architectural drawing. The first one is the floor plan. The second, the site plan. The third is the elevation, cross-sectional, isometric and axonometric, and detailed drawings. Now, the floor plan is the most fundamental part of the architectural drawings. It shows the spaces and arrangements of a whole structure. It is a horizontal cut of the structure to show the places that inside the structure is, the rooms. Now the site plan, it shows property boundaries. It's more specific. It shows structures related to the site, and it can only be drawn by a licensed professional, like an architect or an engineer. Now the elevation is a flat view from the side. It shows a facade of the structure, and it basically shows the outside. Yeah. Now the cross section is a vertical cut. It's almost like the site, the floor plan, but it is more vertical, and it focuses on showing the levels, floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, and things inside it. Now, an isometric and axonometric view is a 45-degree or a 30-degree angle showing detail points, and is useful to explain the construction details. And the detailed drawing is, well, the final part, and it's very detailed. It includes full construction details. Yeah. And now, the tools that architects used in the past are different from the modern architects. Right now, in the past, you could say they are more manual. For example, they use the T-square, set squares, protractors, compasses, pencils, etc., etc. But in the present, now we use the programs, computer programs like the computer-aided design, CAD, as people know it to be. Alright everyone, thanks Joshua. Now I'm going to talk about this Bibliotheca Alexandrina. This is, can anyone tell me what this is? Or anyone have ever known about it?
It's a place.
No. Okay, it's a place, of course it's a place. Okay, now this is the most famous library built in 1968 by
Snøhetta Architect Norwegian company, and the director of this company is Christoph Capella, a quite famous architect in this field. Okay, now this is one of the contemporary architecture drawings, as you can see. Okay, next. Okay, this is the inside of the inside drawing. Okay, why is it built this way? It's actually inclined because that the sunlight can come in and shine to every desk and every drawer that's inside this library. Okay, now in ancient times, everyone knows about the pyramids, right? Imhotep. And do you wonder how do they build such great things?
Yes.
My friend told me it's because of slavery. Okay, but actually, the part that is not yet perfectly described in this field is how do they produce their architecture drawing. No one has any proof that they actually draw it first, then they built it. Okay, one of the theories is for the six steps pyramid. Okay, this 6 steps pyramid, people wonder how do they build this without any architectural drawing. Well, it actually makes sense. Let me tell you this theory. It starts out with a very small model, like about very small, 6 steps step together at very small level, and then they slowly build, maximize the size of this thing, so that for example, if you build a very small triangle and you keep maximizing the size with the same grid, it becomes bigger and bigger, so that this becomes a really grand architecture monument. More. Okay. I said this already. Oh yeah, and this is the later versions of the pyramid. You can see here, that's the harbor leading the causeway down to this pyramid, and this pyramid was said to be built using water, because people always wonder how would you pull all those 5 tons of rocks up here, which is not very possible. So they came up with the theory using this. This is the Nile River, and they use the water from the Nile River, leading it into the precinct of the pyramid, and they shift the rocks from here to here using floating devices that are created last time. For example, animal skins and all those papyrus mats. Okay, then this is the internal. This is what I'm talking about the 6-step pyramid. They started with a very small structure, and then they slowly maximize the grid until they make something very big. Okay, Le Corbusier. Okay, Le Corbusier. Okay, Le Corbusier. Okay, Le Corbusier. Okay, he is known for town planning, very contemporary art. Some specifications of his design is creates a bus station linking to another bus station within 400 yards, and every 200 yards there will be a split section so that the highway can go and there will be no traffic congestion. This is one of part of his designs. Okay, and then he came up with 5 very main architectural concepts. If you guys want to know, you can ask me later. Okay, town planning is basically very geometrical, and it is the concept of this Le Corbusier and the Bauhaus school is almost the same, because they emphasize on the simplicity. The concept is the same, but the design is not the same. Okay, this is contemporary art. One of the 5 principles said by Le Corbusier is not restraining the design of the building using the outer exterior walls, and replacing them with columns. Yeah, and that's the end of our presentation. Thank you.